dork. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wipe your flippin' sweat on me. What the hell? You're a good boy. You're my best boy. You're my best boy. You help me so much. Thank you. Thank you, Nanaki. Stop it. I know. I know. I'm sorry I woke you. My goodness. I know. Want some water before bed? Want some water? I'll get you some water, okay? You guys probably can't see this too well, but my dog usually doesn't sleep on my bed. He much prefers his own little bed or the floor there beside the bed. Sometimes he'll lay on the cold floor of the bathroom. But after the anxiety attack I just had, he's actually sleeping at the foot of my bed. I'm glad he knows when I need him, when I need help from being alone. And he helps me out a lot. You know, I've had him since he was 9 weeks old. That's when we started training him. And on the 27th, he'll be 1 year and 2 months old. And, I mean, you can't just train a dog to do this kind of stuff. You know, they have to be born with this kind of talent. You know, to really be able to connect with someone that speaks a completely different language than them. And still know how to help them. It's hard to train him what to do during my anxiety or panic attacks, so he can get confused. And he knows sometimes I can be very emotional, I can be very sad and crying like I was doing, or I can get mad and lash out sometimes, and say mean, hurtful things that I really don't mean. I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's not. And most of the time he has to be a little like roughhousey with me to get my attention and get me to listen. But this time that's not what I needed, and he knew that. We'll start working on DPT training, because it's really difficult to train that. Seeing as it's the first time I've taught a dog DPT, I've done a lot of research on it, but it's hard to actually execute it with him, because he can tell when the hyperventilating and everything like that is fake. But lately he's been really trying to hone in on it. He actually goes after James if we roughhouse too much, or if one of us starts yelling too much. He kind of steps in between, like, like that 4-year-old kid you might have at home if you and your significant other are arguing. That 4-year-old that steps in and is like, "No, stop." But for what it's worth, I'm glad I got him as a puppy. I'm glad I didn't go through some agency, because those of you who suffer from anxiety, PTSD, stuff like that, you want to hide this from the rest of the world because you feel weak. And you feel like if you show that weakness, you're just going to be ripped apart by the world. And you feel alone. So going to an agency and asking for help, I mean, it's like admitting that weakness. The fact that I can't handle this world on my own. And it's not like I have the money to go and get a professionally trained companion who's already going to be all grown up. There's not going to be that bond between dog and owner, fur baby and human mom, and that companionship. So anyone that goes out there and says you're training your own dog, you're a pet owner faking a service dog. You see this dog and you see how he acts, and you see what I go through every day. You live my life for a day. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not happy. This dog really makes it worth it. And if it wasn't for my fiance buying him, I'd be struggling a lot with my life. Again, not that I'm miserable. My life is great, I've got a great man, got a house, got food on the table, But my own mind tears me to pieces. Tears me down to feel like the most insignificant, just little speck. And when I'm alone, those thoughts just keep circling in my mind. And this dog right here helps me so much. Of course, like anybody else, he's got his own little problems, especially still being in training. He's got his own little personality and quirks, but I wouldn't trade him for anything. Because he helps me so much. I honestly could not ask for a better dog. I don't know what I'd do without you, Nanaki. You're such a good boy. You help me the only way you know how. And you deserve every ounce of sleep you need. Because it is 3 o'clock in the morning. He was sleeping so soundly, and then I had that anxiety attack, and he woke right up. So take all the rest you need, buddy. Alright, I guess that's enough for my 3 a.m. rant. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I hope that this opens up some people's eyes about what it's really like and what these special dogs are meant to do for us. Alright. Good night, you guys. Thanks.